Hey y'all. So look, I came up here, right? I wasn't I intended to come up here and speak, but initially I was gonna say something different. And I decided to it just came to me just now to share this. Because I know this is an issue that a lot of people have, and it's something that I wondered myself. And this won't be a long video, I promise it won't, because my AC doesn't work, and I gotta have my fan on most of the time. And with the uh, me making the video, I turned the fan off so y'all can hear me. All right, so uh, it's something that confuses a lot of people, right? And used to confuse me too. All right, so as a believer of God, a true believer that there is a sovereign God that exists, right? And that no man, none of us can compare to him, right? Knowing that I'm I'm reading in his word that he loves me, that he's gracious, that he's forgiving. And then also knowing at the same time scripture says that I'm supposed to fear God. It's kind of it is confounding, you know what I mean? Because the dynamic of fearing someone who you love and who loves you is it's kind of an oxymoron, you know. But the ticket is to realize that when it comes to fearing God, the fear that we have in God, right? The fear that I have in God is a reverent fear. It's a respectful fear. I know his power. I know his might. I know what he's capable of. And because of that, scripture says that it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living God. And that's not something that I want to experience. So I do say, hey, look, Lord, I love you and I also fear you. And that dynamic is justified. Now, where it's not justified is in people. On this earth, we're surrounded by people. And oftentimes, when we find ourselves intimidated by someone, we have to stop wondering what it is about that person that intimidates us. Or even if it's not that we're wondering what it is about that person, but rather we're trying to make our intimidation uh, about the person's character. Really, what we would really should be doing is looking at ourselves, self-evaluating, and say, where is it that I feel inept? Where is it that I feel insecure to where this situation or this person is intimidating me? This is something I had to learn a lot over the years. Like I can openly say that there were a lot of situations that made me feel extremely insecure. And those situations don't necessarily have anything to do with revealing the truth about who you are. It's a matter of conditioning. And we all experience conditioning from the moment that we come out of our mother's womb. But I had to learn to not look at that situation and judge that situation and say this situation is wrong because I feel intimidated by it or I feel insecure about it. But rather, what is it about me? What is it about my own ineptitude that I need to fix for this thing not to intimidate me? Especially when the thing that's intimidating me is not insidious. And when it comes to people, I think that's an issue that a lot of us have. We have to stop. Oftentimes, we find that the truth is, rather than saying that someone is intimidating, it's more accurate to just say, I'm intimidated by that person. Okay? And we should all strive to not be intimidating to someone. I definitely don't strive to be intimidating to anyone. Man, my smile big. Y'all see me walking down the street, my face looking mean. That's just my face. How I look just normal. Like when I think my eyebrows look like this. This is how I think. You know. Uh, but we shouldn't be intimidated by someone, and don't let people misinterpret your your intentions, how you say things. We have to check ourselves in terms of how we say things sometimes. But when you say something in a very calculated and measured way and it still intimidates someone, it's not you. They're just intimidated by you. So let's change that. Let's flip that on its head, y'all. Instead of um, saying that person is intimidating, rather let's just say be honest and just say I'm intimidated by that person. And when we frame it that way, it becomes less about that person's character and more about us. If we self-evaluate more than we extra-evaluate, then we would be a whole new species. We would be a whole mentally. We would be something different. So that's the message. Uh, I love y'all, man. And look, I know. All right, so look, I wanted to say this too. So the other day, yesterday, right, I went on Twitter, and I was talking about. I said something about I know who I am, and then I posted a picture of the female lions and then the dude lions. And I know that's kind of a shift because I haven't been talking about like supporters and stuff like that. What I mean by supporters is simply not my detractors. If you're not my detractor, you are all right with me. You know what I'm saying? That's the only criteria. You feel me?